keep your focus here, because whatever I am doing here, you will be able to see here. A square is basically called a decision node. This is the point where you have to make a choice. Keep it in your mind that you have to explain. You must have to explain, and at the end, you must have to analyze the decision. Hello everyone, this is Shayan Siddiqui with you, an expert business and economics teacher and a professional corporate trainer. Welcome to my channel. Our today's topic is decision tree, and the lecture is going to be in English language. If you want to watch the same lecture in Urdu language, just click on this link. This link will lead you to my Urdu language video for the same topic, decision tree. And this video is part 1 of decision tree. So without further delay, here we go. Welcome back, and these are the lesson objectives of today's lecture. Today we are going to discuss decision tree and some authentic definitions of decision tree. We are going to solve a case study like an exam question. We are also going to draw a decision tree, and we will also discuss advantages and disadvantages of a decision tree. Decision tree is a quantitative decision-making tool used by businesses to assess the different possible financial outcomes of a particular decision. Such as, I will discuss these such as with you, but keep in your mind that decision tree is basically a quantitative analysis tool. Quantitative tool used by the business. It is not a qualitative tool. Quantitative tool means numbers are involved directly. You will make all your judgments based on these numbers, the figures, the probability, and so on. Anything related to quality has nothing to do with the decision tree. Now discuss what type of decisions we make, such as whether we should invest in project A or project B, whether we should sell our asset, whatever the asset you have, today or in future. Like if you have any clue that the prices of the asset will go up, prices of land or any fixed asset will go up or will come down, so you make a proper calculation and then you decide whether you should sell your asset today or in future. And this type of case study we are going to discuss after some time. Okay, whether you should make investment in stocks, bonds, oil market or anything else, and whether you should launch a new product or you should invest in the same product. Several other decisions are made after preparing a proper decision tool. Here we go. Decision tree is actually a diagrammatic representation of different options that are available to business in the decision-making process. Decision tree shows all probable outcomes, expected outcomes. Okay, decision tree allows managers to calculate the expected value of each decision in order to plan the best option to follow. Expected value of each decision. If you sell your product, if you sell your asset today, then this is the expected value. If you sell your asset tomorrow, for example, this is the expected value. If you remember, I explained you earlier that decision tree is a quantitative tool that businesses use to evaluate different decisions. Getting my point? Moving on. Okay, before we construct a decision tree, you must know these things. You will see these things in decision tree. Okay, the first thing you will see in decision tree is a square. A square is basically called a decision node. This is the point where you have to make a choice. And this is actually, you can say, an origin point from where the decision is originated. Another thing you will see in a decision tree is a circle. What is a circle? Circle. There are several other names of the circle. Circle is also called a chance node, an outcome node, an events node, and a probability node. You will also see a P in a decision tree. That is actually a probability. If P is close to 1, then there is a chance of success. If P is close to 0, then there is a chance of failure. Okay, There is one important thing at the bottom. Two lines. Can you see these two lines? Now, what are these two lines? Whatever the decision is rejected, you clearly draw two lines over it. This is a fixed rule when you prepare a decision tree. Okay, a few years back I was checking an exam paper and unfortunately a student lost his grades just because he drew these two lines on a wrong option. He drew these two lines on a selected option, which is totally wrong, which has made the decision tree wrong. So whichever option you reject, you will draw two lines over there. You will understand it when we draw it. Now it's time to solve an exam type of case study, and I will be disappeared in the next slide. The reason is because there is a long case study in the next slide and you are requested to please read through this case study. I will also read for you, but you are also requested to please read it. And here is the case study. Suppose Mr. Mani owns a villa in US. If he sells it this year, he will surely get $1 million for his villa. But if he waits to sell his villa next year, there is a chance that prices will go up due to economic boom in the country. Suppose the following factor need to be considered. Option 1. Mr. Mani could sell his property at the current market price of $1 million, but he has to pay $16,000 for an agency and lawyer and some legal paperwork as well. If Mr. Mani goes for this option, he could get $984,000 in his hand. Option 2. He can postpone the decision of selling his property till next year. There is a 70% chance that real estate prices will go up. The estimated price of Mr. Mani's property would be $1.1 million, but the cost would also rise to $20,000. The net return would be $1,080,000. However, newspapers and market research are indicating that there is a 20% chance that prices will remain stable, means unchanged, and 10% chance of decline in the prices, and the estimated value might be $900,000. Mr. Mani can now use the above information to calculate the expected value of each decision. And here I have abstracted the data from the case study. Same case study you can find in the description below. Okay, for your easiness, I have uploaded it. Let's look at option number 1, 2, 3, and the fourth is here. Okay, let's move on. What if Mr. Mani sells his property today, then the actual price of the property is 1 million, okay, and the cost of agency and the lawyer is going to be 16,000. The net amount he will get in his hand will be 984,000. Now, what if Mr. Mani decides not to sell his villa today and postpones it till next year? Then what is the probability? Let's look at it. There is 70% chance that prices will go up because researchers are saying that. And in this case, approximately his villa's value will be 1.1 million. But the cost of agency, lawyers and paperwork and so on will also be increased to 20,000 from 16,000. And net amount he would get in his hand is 1,080,000. Scenario 3 is here. If he sells his property next year and the prices remain unchanged, stable, then what will happen? 1 million will be the price, 16,000 are the charges. At the end, he will get 984,000 in his hand. Fine, makes sense. What if the prices are declined and there is a 10% chance that prices may go down? Then what is the scenario? 10% decline, the price will be 900,000 instead of 1 million. The net amount he will get in his hand will be 900,000. It's not the 10% that you have deducted. You have taken away all the cost of lawyers and agencies and paperwork and so on. Then at the end, he will get 900,000 in his hand if the prices go down. Now it's a time to draw a decision tree. You are requested to have a pencil in your hand and take a paper, a blank paper, and draw with me together. For data reference or the case study reference, you can check the description below. You can print it, you can keep it. But I'm sure if you stay with me, you will be able to understand decision tree today, inshallah. So now we will be drawing a decision tree. Okay. And while I'm drawing a decision tree, I request you, please don't focus on me. Keep your focus here, because whatever I am doing here, you will be able to see here. And I will draw a proper decision tree step by step using the same data which I showed you. Alright, the first thing in decision tree is our decision node, and you should know that decision tree is always drawn from left to right. So the first thing is drawing a decision node, and we will give our decision node name A. Alright, moving on. So the first option that we had was that whether Mr. Mani can sell his property today or no. So yes, he can sell his property today. Let's create a decision node. What if Mr. Mani sells his property today? Then sell today. Then what will happen? Okay, he will get 984,000. Okay, I'm sorry for the writing because I'm using a software, so writing is not so clear. I'm extremely sorry for that. So now I have shown you what if Mr. Mani sells his villa today. He is going to get 984,000 in his hand. Now let's discuss the probabilities of future. What if he keeps his property with him for future? So the first thing is we have to draw our chance node. What are the chances? And the chance node is denoted by a circle. Okay, and let's give it name B. Okay, fine. So there, if you remember, if he sells his villa next year, then there were three chances. 70% chance that prices will go up, 20% chance that prices will remain stable, and 10% chance that prices will go down. So in this condition, that means there are three different chances. And if you remember, I explained you that we can draw more than 1, 2, 3, 4 chances on a same chance node. So let's discuss, let's first draw. I will show you how to draw these chances neatly. I will try my level best to draw them neatly, and my drawing is not so good now. Yes, the first chance node is drawn. Now let's draw the second chance node and the third chance node, which can be a little bit tilt, so I don't have too much space that I can utilize here. Third chance node goes like this, and here it goes. Okay, so we will give the name to the first one as rise in prices. The second one will be stable prices. And the third one will be decreased prices. Okay, sorry for the writing because I'm using this tab here, which you can see. All right, so moving on. What is the probability? You remember I discussed with you the probability of a rise in price. So the probability was 70%. 70% means 0.7% probability. Okay, so the probability is 0.7. And what is the final net amount that he will receive in his hand after taking off all the cost? That was 1,080,000. So it was 1,080,000. Fine. Don't do anything except what I'm doing. Okay, what if the prices remain stable? Then what is the probability? You remember the probability of prices remain stable was 20%. So 20% probability means 0.2. Okay, so it is 0.2. And what was the net amount he was expected to get in his hand? The net amount was 984,000. 984,000. Okay, what if the prices are decreased? What was the probability for that? The probability was 10%. 10% means 0.1. Okay, so 0.1. And what was the expected amount that he would receive in his hand was 900,000. Yes, 900,000. That means all the cost, the law cost and whatever the cost were there, they have already been taken off. So 900,000. Okay, is this clear to you? The first one is your rise, like 0.7 means 70% chance. Second one is stable, and the third one is decrease. Clear till here? I think they are clear. Moving on. Now it's time to calculate the expected value. And how will you calculate your expected value? Look at the screen. You will simply multiply the probability with the net amount. You don't have to draw these lines which I actually drew. I just explained you. I'm just explaining that to you so that you should understand. You have to multiply the probability amount with the net amount, and I'm now removing all of them. Let's discuss what is the amount. Please multiply now the probability of price rise. When you multiply 0.7 with 1,080,000, you will get the expected amount, which is 756,000. Okay. Now please multiply the stable probability. When you multiply 0.2 with 984,000, then you will get your expected amount, which is 196,800. Now please multiply what if the prices are decreased. Then the expected amount will be 90,000. Alright. Last step. Add all these expected values together. Add all of them. Hurry up. What is the amount? What is the total expected amount? The total expected amount is 1042800. So now, please look at it and decide. You decide by yourself. What is the best option? Should he sell his villa today? If he sells his villa, he will get in his hand 984,000. But what if he sells his villa next year? All the probabilities have been discussed. If the price goes up, if the price remains stable, or even if the price goes down. In all these cases, the expected value is higher than the current amount. So we should reject option number A. And how do we reject? Hurry up, tell me. We draw two lines. This is how you reject something. So the point which has been rejected, you will draw two straight lines like this. That means this has been rejected, and this is the best option to go for. Keep it in your mind that you have to explain. You must have to explain whether you are an IB student, you are CIE student, you are A level student, AS level student, BBA student, or MBA student. You must have to explain the decision tree. Every node, every chance, you have to explain it properly, and at the end you must have to analyze the decision. Without that, you will not be able to score full. That is the reason I have explained you this explanation thoroughly. So there is a 70% chance that prices will go up, and after the deduction of all the costs, the expected value, you remember the values when we multiplied probability with the net amount, then we got the amount. That is called an expected value. I was explaining you at that time. So the expected value will be 756,000. What if the price remains stable? If the price remains stable, then the expected value is 196,800, and if the prices are decreased, then the expected value is 90,000 that he may get in his hand. Okay, now I'm showing you an analysis of the decision tree. After the quantitative analysis, it is suggested to Mr. Mani that he should delay the sale of his villa. Why? Because we calculated all the expected values were higher than the value of selling it today. Remember that? Okay. Note, the expected value is referred as an average outcome if the decision was made many times over and is calculated by multiplying the net value of a decision by its probability. Okay, moving on. Let's discuss the advantages of preparing a decision tree, and here are the advantages of preparing a decision tree. First one, by using decision tree, managers can easily set out the problems in a very clear and the logical manner. That makes sense because you are drawing it properly. The numbers are there in front of you, numbers are there in front of your eyes, so you can simply evaluate whether you should go for this option or no. Second thing, decision making will be faster because the option can be clearly seen. Makes sense. All the possible and negative outcomes are clearly evaluated, which reduce the risk of decision making. Also makes sense. And instead of relying on people's view, it provides a proper tangible insight of a problem. Yes, you don't have to rely on people's view. Oh, I expect that this can happen. No, you have got the proper numbers there in front of you. Just go ahead. Okay, but there are some disadvantages as well to prepare a decision tree. The first thing is the probability is given in a decision tree is only the estimated value based on forecasting, which can cause a serious error to the decision if the forecasting goes wrong. That is the serious issue. So you cannot rely on just the probability numbers. Okay, mainly the decision tree involves quantitative data only. So it has nothing to do with the qualitative issues such as low motivation of staff, efficiency at the workplace, smartness of the managers, wastage of resources, and so on. These are all the factors that are totally ignored in a decision tree. Another disadvantage, it is also not guaranteed that the decision tree will reduce or eliminate the amount of risk. Obviously, there is no guarantee. You are just calculating it. Sometimes decision trees are extremely complicated. They are too big. Sometimes literally they are extremely complicated and they are extremely time consuming as well, so due to which the decisions are delayed. And the last thing is authenticity of the probability is also questionable in some time, because the probability number you are using, maybe it's not authentic. Okay, so that is also the case. But these are the disadvantages, and I have also discussed with you the advantages, but it doesn't mean that we should not prepare a decision tree. As a student, you must understand both sides. You must be able to evaluate it from the advantages side and the disadvantages side as well. This was a decision tree. I hope you have understood today's topic, decision tree. This was part 1. If you want to watch part 2, so stay connected. Part 2 video will be uploaded very soon on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. And if you have already subscribed to it, please refer my channel to others so that they can also benefit from my lectures. Thank you so much for watching.